what's this about? Some kind of robbery?
Yeah. So this is actually a very sad story that is quintessentially American. This is a story you won't hear in Great Britain, although they are moving that direction. This is not a story you'd hear in Australia. This is not a story you would hear just about anywhere except in America. So let's talk about it. There was a man in Philadelphia who allegedly robbed a pharmacy, flashed a note demanding money after taking one item and putting it on the counter so that they ring it up so the cash register opens. And the note said, "I'm really sorry." Let me see if I can get the exact quote. "Give me all the money. I'm sorry. I have a sick kid. You have 15 seconds." The cashier then and put in several $100s, and the guy walked out. They're still looking for him. But I wanted to bring this story up because it's a representation of the rot in our healthcare system. We've already talked before about the 500,000 people that go bankrupt every year, the 30,000 people that die every year from not having healthcare. But we live in a country where people have to rob stores to pay for healthcare for their sick kid. And if you're in a position where your only option is, well, I can either have my kid die. Again, we don't know the specifics about this. And frankly, we don't know for sure if this was just a note written for that purpose and not on any other reason. But we know that these situations happen. And regardless or not if this situation is genuine, it's not unique. In America, richest country in the history of the world, the most powerful country in the history of the world, the country that has, quote unquote, the best medicine ever devised, with the best doctors ever trained, with the best experience, we have people robbing stores to pay for medicine. They actually talk about how there was a similar robbery in the area where a guy robbed a smoke shop, separate person, to pay for his daughter's kidney transplant. Probably didn't have healthcare. Healthcare decided they weren't going to cover it. Healthcare was too expensive. Doesn't matter. Any one of those will work. After the clerk gave him several $100s, he stopped, saying to the robber, "This probably won't help with his daughter's operation." The guy seems like he had a moment and just left the cash and walked out. And in neither of these instances, as far as I can tell, there was no weapon involved. So, guys, what do you think? America, pretty great, pretty not?
It's uniquely American, right? That's what I was trying to think of this weekend when I was quoting George Bush. He said, having 3 jobs is uniquely American.
Yeah.
Well, this is also uniquely American, and we should be proud. We're number 1 in throwing people out on the street for being sick, so it is a sad state of affairs. I think, now the number is, more than half of Americans can't have a medical emergency of over $700 or something like that before basically having to file for bankruptcy or basically having to put their family at high risk for not having whatever, the shelter they need, the food they need, all of the bare necessities. It reminds me, as I was listening to this, of a commercial that I saw some time ago, and I believe it was for CVS. And I was watching something on television. This commercial comes on, I'm mindlessly watching it, and this woman walks into the CVS and goes up to the counter to get her prescription filled. And the price comes up on the cash register, and it's like $67 or whatever. And the woman is with her child, and you get the backstory. She needs insulin for her kid or whatever. And she's like, and her shoulders slump, and she takes her kid, she turns around, she walks out. But then wait, the CVS coupon angels come and, they ring the coupon up, and now the prescription is only $8. Huzzah! Like, the day is saved, and now this woman can get her child the meds that she needs. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute, that was a commercial?
Yeah.
Was that?
It's a nightmare. What the?
Right, exactly. And I was like, I think I was astounded by that, because if it has become so ingrained in our society that is how it goes, we've accepted that is how it goes, that commercials use this scenario to talk us into using whatever coupons or whatever brand. It's like, wow, we've really really gotten far this way.
It would be a fine commercial if it was like, you're buying, this nice sofa or like that cool flat screen TV. No, it's like your kid's medicine.
Right.
Like the thing that's keeping your child alive. Oh, I got a discount. Oh, capitalism is great.
And then what happens next month when you need that medication again?
Oh, see if that coupon fairy still paying out.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
not sure.
I
Oh,
hope
this
there's
is
no
such a-
minimum amount of coupons you can use.
I mean, if there's no better argument for, hey, you know, a universal single payer healthcare system would be really great in this country. How about it cuts down on crime? People are robbing one another to save themselves, right? This is not a type of good. This is not people, you know, looking to exploit other people to get rich. This isn't, you know, gang members looking to get their next payday. This isn't, you know, people nefariously defrauding others to build power empires. These are people trying to save their lives. Like it's hard to fault someone for going to extremes to save their lives or the lives of their loved ones. Why don't we remove the need for people to go to such extremes to save their lives? Like, why do we have a GoFundMe healthcare system? Yeah. Right? This is beyond unreasonable.
And it's not. It goes beyond that. I've even heard instances where insurance companies, when you talk to them and it's too expensive, they're like, "Okay, well, if you need the money, here's where you go if you want to set up a GoFundMe." Like this is like official stuff now. Like what is it like? What is it like 40% or something like that? Or someone can, if they have a different number, let me know in the chat below. But like a huge amount of GoFundMes are like, "Hey, I need insulin. I'm gonna die. Can you please help me out?" And I also want to read, we have 2 super chats from Duck Moore and DCK Punk. From Duck Moore, Good RX. I guess you could check that out if you need pricing for medicine.
Oh yeah, that's what the ad was for.
oh, was
yeah.
that what the ad was
that
for?
was it?
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
then don't do that, or I don't know. Just
Well, you do want to use the coupons. I mean, why the hell not, right?
Yeah.
That is the system we live in. There's nothing wrong with using the system we
Maybe you
live
want
inside
to use
of.
the coupons.
Okay.
What's the nefarious? I don't
well,
know.
I hope- yeah,
it's like
well,
it's like, but the
maybe you're looking into that.
I misread
Not an
that.
endorsement.
But now, yeah, exactly. That's what.
Hashtag not an endorsement.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out I needed context, so we just had a word. Now we have another point from DCK Punk. Amazing point with the CVS Kira. So I want to also add that I remember there was a story I read about a week ago when I was looking for stories, and it was one of the other ones that, you know, got bumped. But it was this person who got like a blood test for these. They had like a sore throat and they were sick or something of that nature. And the doctor sent out the test to be tested for everything available. And the test came back, it was just a throat swab, came back with a $50,000 bill.
Oh my God.
Because they tested for everything, and some of those everything tests are $10,000 each, when perhaps he should have just gone like, hey, let's just check for bacteria, maybe these other strains of bacteria, and then see if the test comes back, which would have maybe been like 60 or 70 bucks. So again, we live in a country where people are robbing places to keep their kids alive, where doctors are putting out tests for throat swabs that cost $50,000, and the insurance was going to charge for and everything until it got brought to the news, and they're like, "Oh, it was an error. We didn't mean to." Test.
Daniel, maybe
Yeah, well-
this time it's lupus.
and we live in a country where that happens while there is an individual who owns $129 billion. And that's a failed system.
Right, and the CEO of Aetna needs to make his $127,000 a day. That's
And not only that, you have to make sure that every 90 days you're making 3% more or more money than anyone else. And you have to be competitive with other corporations, because investors aren't going to invest in healthcare if it doesn't have the best return. I mean, obviously, they're going to invest where their money pays off the most. And so you got to keep raising your prices, because the system is designed in a way that shareholders get everything they want. Because what are you going to do when you bring your kid to a CVS and they can't afford insulin? Let them die because the price is... Sorry, Timmy. I really love you as a son, but can't afford insulin. You're just going to have to die. I'm going to watch it. We'll move on. Maybe I'll have another kid that doesn't have the same health conditions as you. I'm sorry. It was
we'll
a
roll
good
that
run.
dice.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
depressing.
Yeah.
Sorry, depressing. Very sad story.